should be included on your website page. So that has been sent out for class councils and for committees. In that case, please go back through and change your website so it fulfills the specifications. I did attach pictures of the freshman website, which I edited to fit everything and also look pretty. And then the civic engagement website, which I also edited. If you want me to just put the format on everybody's website and then you can fill it in with like pictures of your members, your platform, that kind of thing, I can do that. I'm going to send out something in the Slack just to see what works best for you guys, because I know this can kind of be a pain. In addition, the website will be going live on Sunday. When it goes live on Sunday, your attendance, which is all of those spreadsheets that are in your Google Drive folder, the ones that I made like a while ago, that you guys have been filling out for your class council and committee meetings. Yeah, those will also be going live. I am embedding them onto your website page, and I think I'm also going to have an attendance page that just has everybody's attendance. So everyone will be able to see if you are showing up to your meetings or not. They'll also be able to see if you've actually updated your website page. If you haven't, there's going to be a message that says, basically, this committee or class council has not updated their page. So please don't get that. That will make you look bad. Please don't do that. Basically, update your website. If you have questions, please ask me. I will help out to the best of my ability. In addition, the CMC is starting to have their bi-weekly meetings. We're arranging a time. It currently looks like it's going to be Wednesday. If people have questions about the CMC, please ask me if you want to use their services. There is a form in the Google Drive. I think it is under the CMC applications, which is under auxiliary SGA bodies. So if you fill that out, it'll send an email to me and I will hook you up with someone who can fulfill all of your greatest desires. That is all from me today.
Thanks, Brianna. Okay, with that, we're gonna move into class council reports. So we're gonna start with seniors. So Will.
Sorry. So yeah, we had a productive meeting. Carolyn was actually so kind to actually spend the time out of her weekend to meet with our class council and get introductions done. We're planning just like hopefully to do some kind of like virtual programming, like tournaments, to make it like a cool competition of like online games. That's really inclusive, but we're just hoping, crossing our fingers for our budget to see if we can kind of like give out prizes if we can do that. And I guess with Brianna's email, we will also be updating our website just a little bit more with some extra information. That's it for us.
Awesome. Okay, with that, we're gonna move to the juniors. So Nathan.
Oh wait, can I also plug something real quick? Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to add that like I'm also the SGA representative on the student advisory committee for the student center. And like the first meeting of the semester is scheduled to be September 30th. And they will be announcing like the winners of the architects who will be designing the architecture of the building. So if you guys have any questions or concerns about the student center, please let me know. Just shoot me a text over Slack and I'll bring them up to our meeting, and I will also be giving you guys an update post that meeting after the 30th. Sorry about that, but thank you.
Awesome. All right, Nathan, you're up.
Cool. Okay, hey y'all. So Junior Class Council has started thinking about virtual programming. A lot of cool ideas were thrown out. We're gonna see which ones kind of are feasible and stick. We're thinking about doing like some Zoom study hours. We've talked about like a virtual escape room type thing like the Hop did. So I need to reach out and see how successful that was. Veda had the idea for a virtual like Smash room in Minecraft, which like I really vibed with because I kind of want to take out my COVID anger on something. And then we're also thinking about using GatherTown. But other than that, you know, still waiting for budget information. So that's kind of a holdup, but a lot of this stuff is free. So we're just going to try to hit the ground running, get something going early October, and then just see how it works. And yes, there's going to be, someone just texted me, there's going to be a meeting for juniors right after GBM. So please stay tuned.
All right. Next we have sophomores. So Anthony.
Okay, so sophomores met on Saturday and then also right before this meeting, and we started actually brainstorming some ideas for virtual programming as well. And we actually came up with the idea to make like a form that we're going to be sending out to our class. And I already made it on campus groups, but if other class councils are also thinking about it, like we could just turn it into a school-wide virtual programming thing if that's something you guys would be interested in. And then we're also working on that, working on the website. after seeing the email, I guess there's a couple things we need to add to, but besides that, I don't think much to report.
Awesome. Okay. So we're gonna go on to committee reports now. So we're gonna start with academic affairs. So Senator Chanda and Senator Zhang.
So we actually met with 2 representatives from the JHU Ethics Board this week, and we're gonna help them put together their ethics week sometime in October. So it's just dedicated to show like the importance of maintaining academic integrity, especially for online courses. We're gonna help run their social media campaign and just like help explain to students the process in case you ever run to like a situation where you're summoned for like an ethics board hearing and like the process, just to help students be more prepared. So the second thing is we contacted the deputy university registrar, and we asked, why were course evals taken down? And so he kind of gave us a couple of reasons. He said instructors felt that that the summaries that were given weren't reflective of the overall feelings of the course, and like 3 to 4 lines of qualitative data wasn't enough to really summarize what the course was about. And the registrar office feels that quantitative data is not subjective, so they'll continue to make that part of the data open to students. And so as an alternative, they said they would just have the syllabi for each course available on SIS beforehand. So I guess Veda and I and the rest of our committee, plus Sam, I think we still think that it's necessary to have course evals. So we're going to meet with them this Thursday and kind of discuss the issue further. And the last update is next week, a few of our committee members will be meeting with our curriculum committee. So that's just a committee with a couple of student representatives from Krieger and Whiting who work with faculty and our vice deans to voice our student concerns regarding anything to do with our curriculum. So like grading or grading policies, or if like a professor is not being accommodating, just issues like that. So if you have any concerns with that, you can email our email as always. It's jhusgaacademicaffairs@gmail.com, and we'll drop in the chat in a second. But that's all we have.
Thanks, Cece. So next we have civic engagement, Senator Wang and Senator Lee.
Hey, so yeah, we've been pretty much still working on the voter engagement campaign. We sent out an email to all the student organizations yesterday with the help of Ananya, pretty much urging them to all be representatives for Hopkins votes. And then also we have a list of like programming and a lot of materials that they can send out to their members, because we hope that they will be able to engage their members and like students in general, because we think that a lot of students are very devoted to their organizations, and they'll probably be able to coax them to a vote or register to vote better than we could do it. I also plan on writing a bill about funding, providing like orgs and incentives if all of their members are registered or all of them vote. But we still have to hash out the details for that. Kata, did you want to talk about the video campaigns?
I would love to talk about the video campaigns. So we're currently closing out the Dear First Year Me video, so be on the lookout for that. You'll also see updates on our website and hopefully through other sources. And also partnering with the voter drive, How to Vote on Planet Earth will be continuing. I'll do a more detailed presentation later about how that video series works, but we also partnered with Hop Votes and multicultural clubs to also send out more information and gather more participants to be in the video. Again, stay tuned. I'll present more detail very soon. Thank you.
Yeah, and we will be updating our website. We haven't done that yet. I'm sorry, Brianna.
Thanks, Grace. Okay.
Give you.
Next we have finance. So Senator, hey. I'm sorry, Karen. You need to tell me how to say your last name.
It's fine. It's whatever. Just say whatever you want, honestly. So hi everyone. Finance committee, we still don't have our budget yet, so we haven't really been doing much on that department, I guess. But I've been working with Ananya and Megan to get out the process for doing our budget this semester, which is going out in an email Wednesday. I think that is it for me, and our website is mostly updated for now. Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Next, we have health, safety, and sustainability. So Senator Chen and Senator Tai.
Hi.
Hello.
Yeah, so JJ's in China right now, so she was traveling, so she wasn't able to make the HSS meeting, but we were able to table, okay. So first we tabled a bill because SAC funding hasn't come out yet, and it depends on how much funding we have this semester. Then we got started on Instagram and like posting. And also we have started to reach out to student orgs. So the ones relating to stuff like mental health and sustainability to just see if they're running any programs this semester and if we can help them out. So yeah. Thank you. Do you have anything to add?
Not really. We decided Megan would do all of the talking because the internet here is not reliable as I expected. But anyway, please follow us on Instagram. I'm just trying to find the handle. So yeah, that's it from us.
Yeah, I'll put the handle in the chat. All right, thank you.
All right.
Okay. Next we have internal affairs. So it's President Cho.
Yeah, so we're scheduled to meet based on our when to meet on this Saturday, sometime in the afternoon. We have to discuss adding structure and guidelines to caucuses. And I've also told you guys in the general chat. So if any of you guys are interested, please, if you have any concerns or like to see any changes, please respond to that when to meet so that we can have an inclusive time for everyone. And our website is ready, but we will also be updating it some more with Brianna's email. And that's it. Thanks.
Awesome. Next, we have student orgs. So Senator Kalahassi and Senator Chen.
Hey, everyone. So we have finally learned how to send emails, which was a great accomplishment of mine yesterday. So we pushed out a hot votes piece yesterday from Civic Engagement. Tomorrow we'll be pushing out Megan and I's like formal introductions and plans from the committee and some info from finance. And hopefully we'll keep that email active since I think there's a lot of questions from like club activities and like finances and what all of that's going to look like.
And then following up on that email, we're also going to be telling them our initiatives. So one of the big ones is liaison pairings, and the full list is going to be coming out at the beginning of next week, finally. So yeah, thank you.
Okay, next we have student services. So President Singleton.
So we've just been working on the website and adding links to the general SGA feedback form and also the student like kind of forum information so that like if anybody has any concerns or anything, it's in an accessible place. Also, Grace and I have been talking with Dean Andy Wilson in regards to like some of the things that went on with people's belongings and like packing it up and some problems that they ran into. And we actually have a meeting on Monday to like kind of voice concerns and then address like, because they have a plan that they wrote up like on how they're going to address it. So we're basically going to meet to talk about that. So that's about it.
Oh, thank God, because my stuff is part of that stuff. So
mine too. Mine too.
Okay, next we have a caucus report. So we're going to start with the Black Caucus. So Senator Wittatola.
Hey everyone, went my video on? Yeah, so like I mentioned 1 or 2 GBMs ago, we're going to be having our nominations and elections of the new chair and vice chair. I already know, but I'm not going to spoil it for you guys. You have to wait and see. Yeah, that's all.
Okay. That was cryptic. Okay, next we're going to go to the Latinx caucus. Executive Secretary Saldateli.
Hi, I just want to clarify that it's technically the Hispanic and Latinx caucus or Hispanic and Latinx. That part doesn't matter. I just had some questions about that. So yes, we do include Spain. So yes, in addition, I didn't have anybody reach out to me about wanting to co-chair. If you are a member of that community or just interested in co-chairing from SGA, please let me know. I really need a co-chair to help me figure out what we're going to be doing for new orgs that are coming in and like trying to join. In addition, I'm planning this Saturday to finalize the form about applicants to join the caucus and then to send out information to the student organizations. I'm considering working with the committee, the Committee on Student Organizations about this, but I need to like figure out the rest of my life first. So I'm hoping by next GBM, I will have a form made and sent out, at least made, bare minimum made. Again, if you are interested in being the co-chair for this committee, which is great, please message me. Thank you.
Okay. Next we have the Women and Gender Minorities Caucus of Senator Zhang.
Hi, sorry my video is not working, so I'll just talk. So yeah, if you want to join the WGMC, I'll drop the Slack link in the Zoom. We're going to have our first GBM in the next month. So if you're in the Slack, it'll probably be easiest for you to get info about that. Also, I attended the WGR Advisory Board meeting earlier today, which is basically, if you don't know, it's basically like a bunch of different student orgs that focus on women's issues and gender minority issues. This meeting was mostly about like bringing anti-racist principles to our leadership, but in the future, I hope this will allow WGMC to figure out best ways to collab with student orgs that have the same mission as us. Thanks.
Okay, so next we have advisor report. So that's going to be Calvin and Carolyn.
Carolyn, I know there she is. Hey y'all. The main thing I've thought about for today is Hopapalooza, which happens this Thursday from 12 p.m. noon to midnight. There's lots of fun games and activities that are planned by multiple departments and offices from around campus. We're gonna host it through the virtual fair platform, so similar to Student Involvement Fair. Some visuals have gone out today for different departments. So keep a lookout. Who runs y'all's social media? Oh, you shared it on your Instagram story. Great, thanks, Sam. So keep sharing that information. Registration is open. There's an event on Hopkins Groups for it. So be sure to register and share with your friends to attend. Calvin, what else you got?
Yeah, and I know people have talked about budgets. It's my hope that I have some positive news about budgets to share with Addie by the end of this week. And just so you're aware, the FY20 transactions for SGA groups will be uploaded with opening balances by the end of this week. And it's also my hope that we can move forward with whatever process we're going to move forward for the rest of the semester. So I'll let you know as soon as I know. But at a minimum, transactions from FY20 will be updated, opening balances. So for those groups who have money that was not recalled or that was fundraised money or dues money will be updated in Hopkins Groups by the end of this week. And if there are, so for those of you who are working with groups, if you know or somebody reaches out to you and says, hey, we have an emergency, it's coming up, we need to purchase something, we can work through that. So that is my update.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Calvin.
And thank you for those people who came to the Michael Barbaro show. I saw several SGA thing for MSC. I saw several student SGA members there.
Yay, that's great. All right, so next we're gonna move on to new business. We're gonna start off with the Time Off to Vote open letter campaign, and we have a guest speaker, Campbell Strader, and you have like 15 minutes to introduce your letter, and then we're probably gonna move on to debate about it, or just like Q&A maybe, and then we'll move on to vote on whether or not we should sign it. And I think, do you have screen sharing permission, Campbell?
I'm not going to worry about it. Honestly, I don't think I need that presentation. It makes life a little bit more complicated, and I'm not sure my Wi-Fi is good enough. So I'm just going to talk if that's okay with everybody.
Okay. I mean, if you want, I can also screen share it.
Don't worry about it. Honestly,
okay.
For when I can't make a phone call, so that works. Hi, everybody. I'm Campbell. I'm the executive director at an organization called Every Vote Counts. We're a student-led, nonpartisan organization dedicated to increasing voter turnout and expanding voter access nationwide, something we do by supporting students that do civic engagement work on campus. Would be a group like you guys have, Hot Votes. Students who work with generally do work in 3 categories. The first is kind of traditional elections and engagement work. The second is civic education work. And the third is very broadly put pro-voter advocacy and reform work. And that's where the specific project I'm talking with you guys about today came out of. I was speaking with some students in our network about issues they cared about, and one that came to the front was time off to vote. It was a group of students that were graduating this past spring, thinking about how they could take their campus engagement work forward and looking towards staying engaged off campus, and recognize the kind of specific power that students as future employees can have in reaching out to their future employers in advocating for an issue like time off to vote. So spent some time thinking of a way to go about doing that and ended up with this initiative. It's an open letter drafted by students in collaboration with their SGAs that basically takes the stance of we as students and your future employees care about time off to vote and reaching out to their future employers saying you should too if you want to hire the best talent going forward. And the goal is to have that letter signed by as many student groups or associations as possible. So at the end of the day, we have a letter that has signatures representing, call it 100 campuses and 2 million college students that we can then send out to the 300 or 400 companies that hire the most recent grads. So far, so good. As of this morning, we just added Vanderbilt to the list and have 73 campuses representing more than one.
Campbell, I think you're cutting out.
Need to add over the next few weeks, and I'm really excited to be here talking with you guys about it today. A few things that I just want to spotlight ahead of time that are kind of usually questions that pop up. One is kind of why work with corporate policies versus trying to change laws, and the answer is it's 50 laws in 50 states, and we just weren't in a place to do that right now. And corporate policy is a little bit easier to change. It also, I thought, was a good opportunity to recognize the fact that college students may not be in the same place after graduation. So while they might be able to advocate for policy in the state they attend school, if they graduate, go on to work at a company that has an office somewhere else, that doesn't work. So advocating for policies that are national for corporations like that was a great way to have some national impact. And then second kind of common question is, how does this relate to campus work? You guys have a civic engagement committee. How might this relate? And we really see it as a logical extension of that work. You're advocating for students on campus being able to vote, and kind of it makes sense to try and do something for their first steps after college. So with that, I'm happy to open it up and see if anyone has questions.
Okay, would anyone like to motion for a Q&A? Anyone can motion.
Motion for 5 minutes Q&A with 45 seconds speaking time.
All right, could I get a second for that?
Is that how you do it?
All right, can that be 6 minutes just because of timing?
45 seconds, yeah. Is that good?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. All in favor, go to the participants tab and mark a yes. If you're against it, mark a no. And if you don't vote, I'm just gonna assume you're abstaining.
Reminder, if you're not SGA, please do not vote. I can tell now because I put asterisks next to your name.
Okay, so we're at 15, so that means it's open. All right, so JJ, since you're the one who first motioned for this, you can go ahead and do the Q&A. You can open it
up. Okay. Yeah. So, how many colleges have you already reached out to, and how many? Do you have a solid timeline for how many signatures you want to get before as this initiative?
Yeah, so I think as I said, we have 73 or so signed on as of now. We've reached out to a few more than that. I'd say we probably got on connect people about 85 campuses with it. campuses or organizations that are equal groups. So that grows that number really quick. So for example, I had a call today with the Cal State Student Association. It represents all 23 Cal State schools, and they're looking like they'll sign on. So that's not baked into that number. And then we've also done, like the way I got in touch with Sam was I went and found the contact information for the president at Johns Hopkins, and I've done that at a bunch of other schools, and I've sent those emails out. So we've sent probably more like 150 total, but I haven't heard back from everyone. Timeline wise, we're hoping to get to as many as we can. I think once we hit about 100, we'll look to think about taking some next steps as far as making some noise goes, and look to make some, get some news going. But honestly, if we pick up some momentum in the next few weeks and are looking like we can get to 150 pretty quick, we'll probably push that back.
Okay. I'll yield the rest of my time to the next speaker.
All right. Does anyone else want to ask any questions? You just need to go to the participants tab and hit the raise your hand thing. Anyone else? If anyone doesn't have another question, we can move into voting procedure. We can motion for that, or any other things. And let me just screen share so you guys can see the letter. So there you go. But yeah. So does anyone have
I'll motion to close the Q&A.
Motion to close the Q&A. Can I have a second for that?
Seconded.
All right. All in favor of closing the Q&A, please go and hit the yes thing on the participants tab. All right. So the Q&A is now closed. All right. So does anyone have any other motions?
Motion to move into the voting procedure.
Seconded.
Seconded. Okay. Please go to our participants tab and hit the yes to move into voting procedure. So we are not currently voting. We're just voting to move into it. Okay. So since 16 people, 17 have hit the yes thing, we are now in voting procedure. All in favor of signing on to the letter as presented on my screen, please go and hit the yes on the participants tab. If you're against it, hit the no. If you're abstaining for any reason, go and just hit the away button on the participants tab.
I will be waiting for a few moments for everybody to check it off, and then I'll start calling off people who have not voted yet. All right, my few moments are up. I'm already going to start calling people out. Angela, please vote. Chinette, please vote. Chinette, if you're having difficulty voting, please private message me. Otherwise, everybody else has voted.
All right.
But Chinette. There we go. Got it. Okay. It passes unanimously.
Awesome. Congrats, Campbell. It passes unanimously. Thank you so much for coming to our meeting and talking to us about this.
Thank you so much for having me. And if anyone has any follow-up or extra stuff, please feel free to shoot me an email. It's campbell@ebcnational.org, and I'll be in touch with Sam probably directly to sort out some logistics. But thanks again for having me, and hope you all have a good rest of the night.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. So.
Thanks for coming.
Sorry? Did someone say something? Okay. The next thing on new business is the Black Caucus Chair confirmation. And the person introducing that is Senator Witotola. So Talal, you have 5 minutes to just talk about who's being nominated and all of that stuff. So go ahead.
Wait,
I'm in a
real
meeting
quick.
right now.
Did we vote to vote, or did we vote to vote and vote to actually approve it?
We already voted to vote, and then we voted to approve it, because the first time I asked for them to go hit the participants tab was to move into voting procedure, and then the second time was to vote to pass the bill, not pass the bill, I mean to sign on to the letter.
All right, cool. I just had a moment. Sorry about that. Sweet.
Okay, so Talal, you can go ahead and yeah, talk about the Black Caucus Chair confirmations.
Yeah, I don't really have much to say. Yeah, I guess we can just get straight into the nominations. So I worked it out with Ovi, who reached out to me and said she was interested. And then we decided that she was going to be chair and I was going to be vice chair. So how this works is, I believe I can nominate Obi as chair, and then someone else would need to nominate me as vice chair, as I can't nominate myself. So I officially extend my nomination towards Obi, and then I think we vote on it as a Senate.
I nominate Talal to be vice chair of Black Caucus.
I second the nomination if I'm allowed to.
No, wait, is this not how it works?
I wasn't sure how this worked.
Whoa. No, somebody needs to nominate Obi as the chair and nominate Talal as the vice chair. He cannot nominate Obi.
I nominate Obi as chair.
I nominate Talal as vice chair.
Wait. You have to complete one nomination and election first, and then you go to the next one. So you have to nominate, second, close, vote, then nominate the next person.
Okay, so we're gonna start with chair nominations then.
There you go.
I nominate Obi as chair.
I second.
All right, I recognize that motion. All in favor of nominating Obi, go to the participants tab and hit yes. All right.
I will call you out again if you haven't voted. Please hurry. Cece, Chinette, Grace. Anthony, I don't know why yours was flickering like that. That was pretty disturbing. Obi, are you abstaining from this? If so, please check the abstaining button.
I'm sorry, Mahek. Has Obi accepted the nomination?
Oh. Obi, do you accept the nomination before we move into voting procedure?
I accept the nomination.
Right. Now Obi has accepted the nomination. The participants tab, hit yes if you want to move into voting procedure. We are not voting just yet. All right. So
We're in voting procedure.
Yeah, 19 people have hit the yes, so now we are in voting procedure. So now we'll vote to confirm the nomination of Obi as chair of the Black Caucus. So if you're in favor of that, go and hit the yes button on the participants tab. Otherwise, you can abstain or hit the no. All right, so 20 people have voted in favor of Obi being the chair of the Black Caucus. So congratulations to Obi, you're not the chair of the Black Caucus, and that concludes the voting for the chair. Now we're gonna move on to the vice chair nominations. So if anyone has any of those.
I nominate Talal for the vice chair.
Seconded.
Okay, I recognize that motion. Could I have a motion to move into voting procedure?
Wait, whoa. You're gonna have to accept.
Oh, Talal, do you want to accept? My bad.
Yes.
Okay. Can I have a motion to move into voting procedure?
Motion to vote.
Seconded.
All right, so now we are voting to move into voting procedure. So go and hit the yes on the participants tab or hit the no or the abstention. Okay, so since 20 people have voted to move into the voting procedure, we are now in voting procedure. And now we are gonna vote on confirmation of Talal as the vice chair of the Black Caucus. So if you're in favor of that, go and hit the yes button on the participants tab or hit the no button, or you can abstain. All right. So it looks like 20 people have voted to confirm Talal as his position. So Talal, congratulations, you are the new vice chair of the Black Caucus. Congrats to Obi and Talal. All right. Well, that was quick and easy. Next on the agenda. Oh, yes, Carolyn, you have your hand up.
Yeah, I have a point of information. Where can I find your processes and procedures? Like the SGA's processes and procedures.
As in like Robert's rules and how we motion for things, or
no specific bylaws?
It's in our SGA folder, but we can forward that to you after the meeting if you want.
It's not publicly accessible?
Oh, it is. It's also on our website, but I don't think our website has been fully published yet.
Okay.
Sunday.
Yeah, so if you go to the old sga.jhu.edu, I think it's still up. And then, so Constitution is first, and then bylaws, and then it goes to Rules Bill. And then if it's not specified in any of those, we revert to Robert's Rules.
Okay, the website's not coming up. So can someone email that to me?
I got you.
Thanks.
Yep.
All right. So next on the new business is a presentation by Senator Lee on how to vote on planet Earth, and it's an initiative from the Civic Engagement Committee. So Kati, you can go ahead and I can screen share if you want.
Lovely, lovely. Screen share would be wonderful, please.
All right. No, hold on. Oh, okay. Can you see? Can everyone see?
Yes.
All right. Just let me know when you want me to change the slide.
Sounds good. All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Kati. Hint, hey, hi, it's Kati Rhymes. I'm hailing in from the Civic Engagement Committee. Next slide, please. So I'm the co-chair for Civic Engagement alongside my wonderful coworker Grace Wong. Follow us on Instagram if you would like. It's SGACEC. Once again, this is our mission. So we believe that the best way to spark civic engagement is to cultivate relationships and empathy between diverse individuals, because diverse relationships are key to components to success, happiness, and innovation. So as a part of this mission, we also wanted to create this digital community that helps people have more of an incentive to vote. You can go to the next one. So this is part of our display for what the video will be about. And I'll explain more in the next slide. But we're inviting various storytellers from different international backgrounds. Mehek, you can go to the next slide. So just to note, the person who's directing this also directed other works. So that included working with TEDxJHU, Dear Pass Me, and a video series about racial discrimination and resilience called Color of My Voice. So about this video, we're inviting storytellers to talk about non-US governmental systems. We invite any story about any country. More importantly, we would like each person to compare with their system with America's voting system. They can talk about both the ups and downs, as well as the criticisms and items in criticism and support of the current government. So just to give you guys an idea of things that people have said. So just some quotes from people I've interviewed so far. So people have said things like, the party takes over and it seems from the flick of the wrist that it changes. This is the way our country's history was erased. Another person talked about, all my parents ever told me about their country was what they couldn't do, what they couldn't get. Another person said, it's not perfect, and most people don't even know who we are or where our island is, but we have a freedom that is extremely different from a land right across the waters, so we will keep speaking nonetheless. So not only do we want people to talk about stories related to their governmental systems, their audio will be just their voiceover, and it will be paired with visuals of them making, or someone making a cultural recipe from that country. Relevant animations will also be included, and it hopes to slowly reveal the country name and identity throughout the video. The reasoning for that is to encourage people who are normally closed to people of different races or different backgrounds, and encouraging them to be open. And hopefully the recipes also serve as a metaphor for the point that they're trying to make. So here's just a few examples of how people connected the recipes they chose to voting. So one person chose their recipe as boneless chicken breast with black beans and rice. This person said they're two opposite things. One is starch and the other is made of fiber. But when they come together and are kept in one place, they complement each other well. I want to keep in mind that as the United States of America, whatever this outcome of the elections will be, we will need to stand up together as Americans and overcome our current adversities, just as we have done in our past history. Another person chose pickled tomatoes as their dish. The reason they said they chose that was because she described how if you didn't prepare for the winter, you could starve in her country. She said, we pickled tomatoes, otherwise you couldn't eat tomatoes during the winter. It's a metaphor for how you have to be prepared. You have to take your life into your own hands. But also, it just shows that what happens when you don't get to choose, when the people around you don't get to choose how they live. Because my parents, in the city that they're from, they lived next to two major factories that produced so much food, and none of it went to them. So whenever I invite a storyteller to talk about their story, here's a sample list of questions that will be asked. So again, talking about your country, how do people vote, how are decisions made, some critiques and or affirmations about the system, and what led them to choose their current dish. So if you're interested or you know someone who would be, please be in our video. I'm going to put a link in the chat that you can fill out. And also if you have a corresponding recipe, we would love to have that as well. Also, we would love some help. If you would also like to be a part of this video, we're looking for video editors, animators, script writers, or other social media marketers, audio editors, or any motivated person. If you'd like to do this, you can just DM us at SGACEC, or you can, if you know me personally, you can also just DM me directly, or Grace. I'm sure she can pass your contact along to me. But again, follow us on SGACEC for more information. Thank you very much.
All right, thanks, K-Dye. All right, so if anyone has any questions about that, they can ask K-Dye now, or they can message him later. But this is just an initiative that Civic Engagement is working on, so be good to get the word out. All right, so hold on, let me go back to this. Okay, so that brings a conclusion to our new business. And what we're gonna do next is go on to prospective business, which is advancing legislation. So if anyone has any advancing legislation they want to talk about now, you can raise your hand and yeah, you can just go ahead and speak. Sam, you can go first. I know you have something to say.
Cool. Yeah, so just real quick, one thing that I wanted to share with all of you is that Exec and I, ooh, my video is spotlighted.
I figured out how to do
Exec
it.
and I were, Exec and I were talking, and one initiative that we are pretty excited about is an idea to potentially encourage people to come to our GBMs and discuss kind of just like, you know, like what they think the university could be doing better, what they think we could be doing better, and sort of to create some sort of incentive system to encourage people to do that. But we don't want to write the bill ourselves. We want to work with you all. So if that's an idea that sounds interesting to anyone, if that's an idea that anyone would like to work on and help figure out the details on and flesh out, get in touch with me or anyone else on Exec, and we would love and apply for the Security Council or get in touch with me.
All right, does anyone else have any other advancing legislation? Otherwise, we can move on to announcements. All right. So if anyone doesn't have anything else, we're going to move into public input period. So if anyone from the public wants to say something now, they can go ahead and say something. You just need to raise your hand and I'll add you through the speakers list.
Oh, wait, did we miss the slot for announcements? Sorry, I thought it was just
Mahek, you just skipped over announcements.
Oh, I said if anyone has any announcements, but then no one said anything, so I thought
No, you said advancing legislation, but it's chill. It's chill.
Okay, Julia, you can go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I just have this thing at the WGR meeting today. Someone from Wings, and also like I think a coalition of people from Wings, Hot Femmes, and advocates for reproduction and sexual health. They're doing this, or they're coming up with this initiative called Some Change for Greater Change, and basically like individual students along with their student orgs can like at the start of every month donate $5 to a Baltimore-based anti-racist organization. I'm just gonna drop the link to their Google form in the chat in case anyone's interested, or in case anyone wants to promote it to their student org. Yeah.
All right. Does anyone else have any other announcements?
I do.
All right, go ahead, Brianna.
I just like Congratulations on making it through like your first bit of classes. If there are any freshmen here and you need help or you're confused about the election process, feel free to reach out to me or probably most of the other people in this chat, but specifically me. I hope you guys all submitted your forms and such. If you have questions about what's allowed and what's not allowed, I recommend asking CSE. If you need ideas, feel free to message again me. And again, congratulations on making it through like the first little bit of class. We're surviving.
All right, Nathan, you can go next.
Yeah, just really quick reminder that voter registration deadlines are coming up, including the deadline to register to get your absentee ballot, even if you are registered. Hopkins Votes is doing like voting office hours from noon to 2 on Tuesday. So next week, if you need that, I mean, always feel free to reach out to me if you have any voting questions. Please, 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 please vote. Needless to say, this one's kind of important. So yeah, just pay attention to your deadlines. They're starting to happen.
All right. Other than Nathan, does anyone have any other announcements?
Okay, you can call me when you get.
You can go ahead, JJ.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys are aware, but Hopkins just launched the COVID dashboard. That may be interest to you if you live on campus and just want to monitor the situation, because they have been silent about the the number of students or faculty tested positive. So I'll drop the link in the chat if you want to check it out. That's it.
Thanks, JJ. That's actually really helpful. Does anyone else have any other announcements? All right. So if no one has any other announcements, we're going to move into public input period now. So if you're from the public and have anything you want to say, you can raise your hand now. I'll give you guys like 30 seconds and you can go ahead and speak.
I think we have a whole 2 people from the public right now. So if either of you two, I know both of you, feel like sharing or have questions or anything, feel free to just say words. Okay, never mind.
All right. Could I get a motion to close the meeting?
Motion to end the meeting.
Seconded.
All right. All in favor of ending the meeting, go and hit the yes thing on the participants tab. If you're against that, hit the no. If you're abstaining, hit the away.
Sorry, Elena.
Oh, sorry, Elena. All right. So it looks like our meeting has ended. Thank you guys all for coming. And we'll see you guys next week.